So we are the venue Vixens, and I'm Katrina Arcularius, and each of us are independent planners. Being the venue Vixens, we are a site research organization, and each of us brings something unique to this team with our independent planning side and knowledge of the venues, and we promote venues. And so far, 3 years in, it's incredible and it's blown all of our minds. So we are happy to bring some of our knowledge and experience to you tonight as independent planners and wedding traditions.
So we're going to do our first one tonight, and that is the meaning behind a boutonniere. Now, probably many of our florists know what the meanings is behind the boutonniere. This goes back to the medieval times, when the knight would wear his lady's colors through the flowers, and as a statement of his love. Those boutonnieres would include lavender and lamb's ear and rose hips or flowering herbs, items that were aromatic and sweet smelling. Because, David, bathing was an issue back in those days. Bathing was an issue back in those days, and a scented boutonniere helped with the aroma of the groom.
Okay, so my tradition is one of the stranger ones, removing and tossing of the garter. This may be one of the oldest surviving wedding traditions. In the 14th century, in parts of Europe, the male guests would rush the hopefully virginal bride at the altar when the ceremony was finished and removing her garter from her leg. In the panic, the bride was often knocked over and probably groped. Around that time, guests believed that having a piece of the bride's clothing was thought to bring good luck. And so some of these rushers of the bride would actually destroy the bride's dress, ripping off pieces of the fabric.
Hey, a virgin!
Obviously, this didn't go over too well with the fair maiden. And so later, the tradition was altered, where the bride would actually toss a variety of personal items out to the men, which a garter would be one of these items. But this also caused a problem, as sometimes the men would get drunk, become impatient, and try to remove the garter ahead of time. Barbarians! Being in possession of a young bride's garter signified fulfillment and progeny and was fiercely sought after. Needing a much tamer act, the custom evolved into having just the groom remove and toss the garter to the single man. The idea was the man who caught the garter would be the next to marry. With this change, things became a bit more civilized. The custom remains today and is thought as a fun and lively moment within the wedding reception. Sometimes stripper music plays at this time. You know, na 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 na.
All right, everybody. Our next tradition is that of the wedding cake. Now, certainly we've all seen the wedding cake, and maybe some of you know what the tradition is. But I'm going to tell you that in Roman times, a loaf of barley bread was broken over the bride's head, which symbolized, and are you ready for this? Breaking the bride's virginal state and the dominance of the groom over her. Dominance, Misha. Yes, thank you. Once this ritual was completed, the guests would rush forward to pick up the crumbs, and we won't make you do that, as it was considered good luck. As an adaptation of this, today, and by the way, did you notice the virginal state of our brand new bride today? How quickly breaking barley bread over her head. Okay, as an adaptation of this, today, the baker can package pieces of wedding cake into small little boxes, which are taken home by the single women, who then place the box under her pillow. She will then see the face of her future husband in her dreams. Find those brides. Whoa! But by the mid-19th century, the multi-tiered wedding cake appeared in all of its glory. Today, the tradition is that the first piece of cake is cut by the bride with the help of the groom. That is why the groom's hand is placed over the top of the bride's hand while cutting. The can will then feed each other the first slice, which gives us another lovely piece of symbolism, the mutual commitment of bride and groom to provide for one another. And we don't do that these days.
So tossing rice or throwing things at a newly married couple may date back to ancient Rome or Egypt. The custom is intended to give the newlyweds good luck, and it symbolizes abundance and fertility. And by the way, there was a lot of symbolism towards fertility back in the day. Food has always been a popular choice because it represents plentiful crops. In Morocco, figs, dates, and raisins were thrown. Of course, the boxes make it a little bit less messy because we are doing quite a number on the ballroom today. The Italians showered the couple with sugar-coated nuts. In Korea, dates were used, and I can only imagine the mess. Rice, wheat, and grains were thrown over the couple in hopes that the couple would be prosperous and have many children to work the land. Today, the once popular rice has been discouraged due to the liability issues of slipping and the fact that the facility staff hate to clean it up. It's not good for the birds. It swells in their stomachs and can make them sick. And we have since then substituted items such as rose petals to toss, or autumn leaves, lavender, confetti, a number of different items, still messy, and still the facility people don't like to clean it up. It has evolved and even become the fun use of sparklers. Still, the facility staff hates to clean it up, and thus the tradition.
I'm going to tell you a little bit about the honeymoon. Before the concept that this was just a fabulous vacation that you actually need after planning a wedding, the word honeymoon actually originated from the wine made from mead and honey. This cat has here, mead and honey. In order to bring good luck, the newlyweds drank the sweet wine for a month after the wedding. Since a month was known as a moon, this period of time acquired the name of the honeymoon. Now it's just a great time to relax after planning a wedding and going through that hectic time.
Those of you who know me know that I chose the toast as my treat and my piece of information and knowledge for you. So the tradition of the toast started in ancient Greece, and this is back when you might be invited to a dinner party and somebody might actually poison you. So again, ancient, archaic, going way back. And the idea was that the host would drink first and toast, and it was often to your health they would toast. And they would drink first, and this indicated it was safe and that you would not be poisoned. Taking it a little bit further, we move on to the Romans. To lessen the bitterness of the wine, they would add toast or toasted bread. And the idea was you would drink this, and the wine would taste better and still toast and get a little bit of the bread. Then we come to the late 1600s, and a French monk by the name of Dom Perignon created champagne. And still with the tradition of that toasted bread dropped in the champagne glass, champagne became the drink of choice for weddings. And the tradition became that the bride and groom would race to drink that champagne glass, and whoever ate the bread first within the champagne glass was the dominant person within the household. The person to their toast, which means you have to drink everything first and eat your toast. Raise your hand or stand up. Okay? I see some competitive people over here. So once I say the toast, that's go. Drink, stand up, you're the winner, and you win the bottle of champagne. So to a fabulous 2014 season for all of us, and to your health, drink, drink. Oh, Christina all the way. Cheers, everybody. Thank you, Wilson Vineyards, for the bottle of champagne.